And we are back again, just like hack. And then T minus 29 minutes until we get ourselves the first and only free practice session of the Qatar Grand Prix, round 23, T minus 2. And we get some very serious exam answers to some very serious exam questions. John, I'll never let you down, chap. T minus 1 each and every single time. The days of your boy Cameron CC being abhorrently late are long gone. You never believe that your boy absolutely abhors and detests lateness, punctuality, or lack thereof. No, but we're gonna set trend now. Market leading purple sectors. Oh, the humanity. 4 seem to be 5 time. Is he in good form? Is he this Max Verstappen chap? Enhorabuena, as they say sometimes. And he would need to be to hold off a fire-breathing dragon in Lando Norris. 2.0, 1.0. That is the question. Mechanical failure, please. No, we can't do that. 11 of 10. That's beyond me. That's one thing that I can never root for. You don't play F1. Do you know what I mean? When the risk of injury is so serious or worse, you don't play Formula One, and I can't root against the driver. Not in that sense, wishing for a cheeky DNF. Does that mean that I don't want the legend, the man, the myth, the one that they call Maximilian Verstappen, GOAT, first round Hall of Fame, ramp musher of F1, missed the clutch to go and nail himself his 5th driver championship back to back? Of course it does. What are you saying, Free Club? I'm all right, mate. Oh, the humanity indeed, Retro Man. Why am I so nervous? I don't know. Maybe it's something to do with the fact that we've got two races left. 24 points is the delta in the championship between Lando in first and Oscar Piastri and Max Verstappen in joint second place. Exciting to be back in force. JJ, are you a legend? JJ, there was a question that you asked before, but I can't remember what it was. Do me a favour in the first instance. Housekeeping. If you like the stream, then like the stream. Apparently, YouTube says that matters, hyping it and all this other gubbins. Why? Because you guys are the breath, the air and the sunlight and the water of the channel. Without you, it ceases to exist. It really needs to happen. Cam 4 seem to be 5 time for pie nonsense. I tell you what, I was talking with Shez earlier about this. There is something to be said for neutrals rooting for Max Verstappen. Why? Because it's going short on McLaren. It's a Brexit vote. It's an expression of discontent. So frequently and so material has their intervention in the competitive landscape been, some say. And this is why. This is why, chat. Perception sometimes is reality. 366 points is what Max has. So too, Oscar Piastri, 24 points adrift of Lando Norris's haul of 390. Oh, the humanity. Here's what you need to know. Going into the race tomorrow. Sprint race weekend, by the way. So race on Sunday, back on normal timing. No Lando, Las Vegas. Going into it, Lando Norris has one objective. If he's to win a championship this weekend, I did indeed. At Abbas, we talked about it. Where were you this morning, Abbas? We talked about all of that. We went through it and unpicked for Andrea Stella's comments, both talking about Oscar Piastri and the style and the binary on the bottom pedal and the proportional representation or proportional punishment that he so requires or demands, at least, at the altar of excessive plankware. Brexit is Brexit. Someday. Whether it's an inch or whether it's a mile, you were too busy granny shifting, not double clutching like you should. Rules are rules are rules. Crunch under just looking at the excessive plankware, the car sparking up. And it's crazy that even with all that excessive plankware, there were only it wasn't a lot. Andrea Stella's right in that sense that it was they were marginal, to say the least. Fractions of millimeters in it. T minus 25 minutes until we get ourselves a cheeky FP1, and I'm here for it. T minus 25 minutes. Great 481. Having a look at Checo Perez's underfloor. Oh, go on then. Since you guys are talking about time, Sky Sports to put together this, and I'll leverage it. I'll borrow from it and show you guys. Here's your timetable on the right hand side. Practice kicks off. This is when some of these are the coverage, by the way. The coverage has just kicked off. Practice kicks off proper in T minus 24 minutes. Sprint quali will kick off proper British time at 5 p.m. Sprint race Saturday 1 p.m. kickoff. Sprint qualifying proper 5:30 Saturday. Gonna get techie. Race start 4 p.m. on the Sunday. Those are all British times. So some of you guys might have to do a translate. British bias, Cameron. What are we doing here? I see. Oh, I see different times then. Abbas all over the show. Corinne giving us. Yeah, I'm listening to Corinne now. Corinne's not giving us anything that we didn't know anyway. Mr. Cameron, I'm going to sneak in Lando Pit and destroy. No. We don't want that. Less than 9mm. There we go, Frank. Less than 9mm. We don't care, Corinne. You know what I mean? Nobody cares, mate, the extent. But did they break the rules? Okay, then. So then they need to get disqualified. I don't think it needs to be any more complicated or simple than that. What are we doing here? McLaren are doing a very good job here at pleading perfect victim, aren't they? Yeah, they are. Matt's got disqualified, Cam. You would not be saying rules are rules. Well, Miami, I disagree with us slightly. Because on this channel, truth and objectivity are not things that we sacrifice, not at the altar of partisanship, nor any cognitive dissonance worthy of the moniker. I would disagree, therefore, Miami. No, we wouldn't. No, Miami, we wouldn't. Disqualify. Did you see the post-Barcelona video where we talked about the 9 points that Max had given up in his hot-headedness? Monza 2.0 in Qatar. Oh, the humanity. Oscar Piastri on deck, saying that they had a lot more points. It was not extracurricular, anomalous circumstances. Maybe you want to plead mitigating, but bloody not. Like, what are we doing here, mate? Andrea Stelli, your boys dropped the ball. T-minus 22 minutes until we get an FP1 round 23. 2 races left. Qatar, Losail. It's gonna get techie. Alex says, do you have a boyfriend? I have friends who are boys. And you know what? Can I say this up front? People keep on taking a mick about serious things today. Like, what is there to joke about somebody's sexuality? I don't find it funny. I know it's banter, Alex. I hope it's banter, and I hope you're not trying to be serious or disparaging. What is it of your concern, Alex? 100%, John. I'm not in the mood, Alex, to be honest. I commented underneath a Max Verstappen video rather famously that Verstappen fella's not too bad. To which somebody responded, "Oh, Cameron, have you got Tourette's? Are these afflictions the subject matter of jokes? Can you imagine if you had a child?" Well, so Alex, why did you ask the question then? Yeah, no, Frank, we won't. I just thought, for some reason, something about Friday the 28th for the 11th, 2025. There, people think that serious things are funny. I tell you what, Alex, you want me to be honest with you? I've been batting 1,000 as far as my own peculiar strand of F1 commentary. For as near as makes no difference, I want to say 10 years now, on and off of YouTube, depending on consistency and the Overton window that we're speaking about. Initially, you want me to be honest, Alex, I'll tell you this is really important if we're talking about the genesis of the stand at T-minus 20 minutes until we get ourselves some FP1. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Some people can't read the room. Here's the problem now. Your boy somehow vicariously has grown into incidentally, I've grown into an emotional calloused beast. I care not for what the internet muggles say, nor what the F1 abbots have reason. Why? Because once upon a time, still am to a lesser extent, I was a Lewis Hamilton fan, cult RH team member. But post 2021, when I started portending all of the doom and gloom that Lewis Hamilton, we might never see this Lewis Hamilton again on the back of what happened in 21. Oh, Cameron, how very dare you keep the faith? Faith is the belief in something, sans evidence. You're not a Lewis Hamilton fan. Are you even a man? What are you talking about? That's what they said then. Ultimately, all of those things have come to fruition since. So who looks like the numpty now? And more to the point, by dint of all of our aforementioned experience, your boy has just come not to care. I cared then 2-3 years ago, cared. 2021, absolutely cared about what people thought. Now, however, your boy is unencumbered by care about what other people think. So, Alex, you want to crack jokes about serious things, then, or anybody else, not directed at you, Alex. If we're gonna crack jokes, then let's crack jokes. Do you think Lando's Maxphobic? Yeah, the internet sure has lost its manners a long time ago. Sometimes people don't like to hear the free climb, the truth, nothing but the truth. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth, F1 community, but that's up to them. Do you know what I mean? Whatever. Cam, what are the expectations for FP1? Can we please see Lando Norris 1.0? So here's what I'll say about that, Abbas. The likelihood that at some point we see Lando Norris 1.0 as versus iteration 2.0 rock up is high. Why? Because it's pressure, it's circumstance, it's stakes now. If you were to line out the number of instances, the number of mistakes that Lando Norris has made, you would see that there is a familiar, there's a pattern, that most of them occur in pressurised circumstance when Max Verstappen, as a fire-breathing F1 peddler of a dragon, is breathing down his neck. That's where it gets chaotic. And that will be this, surely. If we're talking about round 23, you bet your bottom dollar that Max will be in and around there. He has the car, apparently, some are saying, potentially, to win a race, a sprint race, drop it on the pole. Oh, the humanity. Oh, yeah, use the Max mentality. Free climb, I don't care. I did care once upon a time, but I've come not to. So expectations from FP1. I think this will be, so remember, it's a sprint race weekend. So exactly the thing that Lando and Oscar and McLaren fell foul of was a lack of preparation, right? Fail to prepare is preparing to fail. But this does have a tendency of occurring at sprint race weekends because you get a curtailed, concertinaed, what's the word I'm looking for? Time period. You've got a shorter number of sessions, right? One practice session to nail it. So you gotta be busy. FP1 will be frantic. They'll want to get in all their timed runs, the hot laps, understand what the ride heights need to be. Mention no names. McLaren, you have to love it. Cam, when Cam is in his element, punches phrase. You're a legend, real king. I appreciate you, mate. I mean, sometimes Alex did me a favour. Do you know what I mean? Scorched stuff. I just can't. I don't know. Banter is banter, right? But about banter-worthy things like Tourette's. Supposing you had Tourette's and you're reading that. What the honestly. But the internet isn't undefeated, undisputed, right? Pound for pound, never lost a round. Or Mansell wins were epic with his stature. I tell you what, John, somebody said once upon a time about Nigel Mansell that if you blacked out the helmet and you took off the red number 5, that there was an energy about, I think it's Matt Bishop over at Colossally, that there was an energy about that Williams car in particular that denoted it was Lando, it was Nigel behind the wheel. Well, all emotionally invested. Hella. Just a tad, Max. Just a tad. It's pressure for all of the top 3, even for Matt. Is he 100%? It's how you handle it. And Matt spoke to this, didn't he? In that interview, he's like, basically, Max Verstappen could handle pressure better than Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris. I think Red Bull will announce Yuki. No, Max. Give him a proper Dubai. Announce Yuki out 100%. Well, they said they're going to do it after the Qatar Grand Prix. Yeah, not Abu Dhabi. So they keep messing around. First, it was going to be Mexico. They were going to say Yuki's gone. And then they were going to say Abu Dhabi. And then it was going to be Hajar. And then we had rumour about potentially Oscar. And then that's faded to black a tad. And now it's Oscar to Ferrari. And who's going to be... Here's what I think. My crystal ball is as murky as the next person's. Here's what I reckon as far as Red Bull are concerned. Top seat of the table, it would be Max and Isaac Hajar. Second rundown, Red Bull Racing, or Racing Bulls, excuse me. It would be Arvid Lindblad and Liam Lawson. Take that to the bank. Best case scenario, Max and Yuki on the podium in Abu Dhabi, with Max being a fight. Oh my gosh, Nicholas. Oh my gosh. What do you think, Cameron? Will Max Verstappen be a world champion in 2025? It's a long shot. It's a long shot. But thou shalt never back against Max Verstappen in your life. In your life. I know firsthand. I tried it earlier on. I lost money last weekend because I was too scared to bet on Lando Norris at 4-1, by the way, to put it on pole when he had the quickest car by a gazillion miles. But I just think he, as far as seizing defeat from the not insubstantial moors, no jaws of victory, Lando Norris is something of a, he's a moth to a flame. Yeah, it's pull. Defeats pull to Lando Norris 1.0 is magnetic almost. He can't help it. His intuition is to be called by it. It's awesome as a Max fan to see Max had the full support from multiple fan bases. Please, Lord, grant us the blessings of witnessing 5 in a row. Can you imagine MV? I as an adult, I would like to see 5 consecutive. It's one of these things. It doesn't come along too often, right? It does not come along too often. Seems from this weekend's interview, seems Yuki will be off the grid and Isaac will be in Red Bulls for sure. Arvid will for sure be at Racing Bulls, 100% biker. I think those are the short odds on there. Are we thinking no Riz 1.0s returning this weekend? Pressure. J Martin, I don't know, mate. I don't know. The likelihood that we see him at some point. Listen, here's what I would give you short odds on. The likelihood that Lando rocks up at some point. I don't know. I don't know the extent of the mistake that he made, but he won't. His weekend won't be perfect. Yeah, you could take that one to the bank. There will be a cheeky runoff area somewhere or a mistake. Tell me the weekends. You can count on one hand the weekends when Lando's just been perfect, and that's where Max is a little bit different, isn't he? But I digress. Stop with the D1 level Maximilian Verstappen glazing. 415 of you watching concurrently. Do me a favour, smash the like. Shortly, T-minus 12 minutes, we'll get ourselves some cheeky multi-viewer. I'm going to have to get my Red Bull ready. Didn't work out too badly last time round, did it? Superstition, any? Yeah, Max, that was so stupid. The 5th will be the most impressive. Everybody's saying now. Peter Windsor said that this would be his best one, right? Quali's always risky bets, Cam, especially Vegas. True, free climb. True. Betting full stop is always risky. Peter Windsor did say it was going to be a great lap, but the evolution was hella strong. We had Science P3. We did indeed have Science P3. Mr. Windsor said, I was like, Peter, Max is going to nail pole, isn't he? Mr. Windsor's like, I think Max is struggling in that car. Not Max, but I think the car isn't capable. He hasn't got the wheels to drop it on pole. You see it at the end, Lando didn't even complete a perfect lap because, but so extensive, broad and deep was his durable competitive advantage in Las Vegas. He didn't even need a perfect lap. Just had loads of time in hand. Metronomes, unless Lando buried his phone. There was a lot of social media, 100%. I think he's paying less attention. But I think he's still dialed in ever so slightly. I watched an old Lando interview where he sat there with his mental health coach talking about things that he needs to. This was years ago, by the way. Dial out, same thing that they were talking about then. Dial out of social media, blah blah blah. It was like, I don't know. When he's had his Weetabix, Lando's a very dangerous peddler. But how frequently is that as a percentage of the whole just facts? Is it glaze if it's facts? I mean, if Max equals Michael Schumacher's record of 5 in a row in this car that clearly has not been the best car in portions, not even the second best car, then he's absolutely the GOAT. Thomas, go on then. Since we are getting into some early D1 level Max Verstappen glaze. Shez, legend of the shakedown, said to me once upon a time, if Max Verstappen had retired after 2021, after he won his first, just did a Nico Rosberg and said I'm out, even then, His body of work is so rich. The extent of his sporting endeavour par excellence so loud that even then, in that instance, hypothetical, 2021, full stop, new paragraph, Max Verstappen goes off and does something else. Even then, you would have to put him on the Mount Rushmore of F1, just on the back of 2021 as a body of work, and I think that's chaos. But I think since Shez has looked like a genius for saying that. You're not drinking Red Bull. I know it's disdained. It's become superstition, hasn't it? And I'm trying to wean myself off of all things sucrose. Who much are going to come on here in a minute and tell me, no, Cameron, it's not sucrose, it's glucose. As a team, we win and lose together. Don't hate it, Max. Don't hate it. Max says we even when he wins. He says it's a team sport and praises the team even when they deserve it. So go on then, Darius. I think you're right, Darius. But truth, value, objectivity. Max Verstappen, diehards, close your ears. Max hasn't always been like that. This level of maturity that we're seeing from Max Verstappen in 2025, some would say that's Max. If we're being honest, that's Max's vulnerable underbelly, right? When he's heated and frustrated. Barcelona this year, Hungary last year. The car won't fudge and turn in. Lando's a hardcore Max Glaze god. Lando cannot lose unless McLaren do something wrong. He was talking about, in fact, let me get some cheeky multi-viewer up. Your boy's sleeping over here. Come on, Cameron, fix her. I hope you're all having a fantastic Friday, by the way. End of the week. I can't even believe I've managed to get through this week. It's been so chaotic, but you know what? I digress. What we don't want to hear is any moaning from Cameron. Some of the podcasters I watch just spend like 90% of the time moaning about each other. Oh, my week's been so bad. Oh, I'm so tired. I need to get some sleep. Oh, why do I do this? My life is so hard. I'm like, hang on. I haven't come here to hear you moan about your life. My life is far too chaotic, and that's why I'm here for a semblance of escapism. I want to hear you moan about your life and have me drowning in my own sorrow vicariously through yours. But I digressed. I hope for sanity easy. Family life and the pets make Max Verstappen a more rounded person. He's got something's happened. Max, he has he's a little bit different. Even being 24 points behind Lando. Can you imagine if that had happened in like 2019 or 28? Max would have been killing everybody. Fix the fudging car. They were in there and they were, do you remember where there was like 50 seconds down the road from everybody? Lewis, what a season. I mean, this one hasn't been bad in the end, but for too long, it's the middle third of the season that was just like, when Max didn't have the car. Tell you what, and Max Verstappen tired and all that. Floats all F1 boats, some people say. You know what I mean when I'm saying that. The life in the weird and wacky world that is F1 fades to black, is awfully boring without the one that they call Maximilian Verstappen in it. True value and objectivity, never sacrifice either one of the aforementioned at the altar of any cognitive dissonance worthy of the moniker. But I digress. Right, let's get out some metrics. 400 of you in the chat concurrently. If you like the stream, please like the stream. Matters more than you might know. Cam, Adrian knew his team principle somehow doesn't sound right. Abbas, I don't trust it, mate. It feels like I was just... will you ever get a driver on the channel? I would love to see you interview one of them. Love your channel from Melbourne. You're a legend, Vedant. I appreciate you. So the problem with getting... there is a lot of... it's not selectionism. It's... F1's a very insular business. You got to be someone to get someone, right? It's not the access to drivers isn't like a UFC and fighters because they earn too much money. What's Lewis Hamilton's incentive to come on Cameron CC and have a chat with us? Got all Maxes even like I don't hold your breath is all I'd say. And then ultimately, I want to have good conversations here. There's not too many drivers on the grid that I feel like Max would be god tier, Lewis would be god tier. I'd love to have a word with Carlos. Would be brilliant. I'd love to get Carlos, to be fair. But outside of them three, George I think would be a bit cheeky. But outside of them buds, not interested, mate. The juice isn't worth the squeak, particularly from a logistical perspective. Oh, you can only answer. I talked to Mr. Windsor, friend of the channel, a lot about this. You can only ask so many. I don't think it's worth it. We are round 23, 5.4 kilometers, 57 laps. Track lap record for Verstappen 24, 120.520. Elevation is 4.2 meters. Top speed 343 kilometers per hour. It's a techie track. This we'll go through later on for sprint qualifying. Compounds C1, 2, and 3. That sector, the bloody top end of it, where it's just maximum speed corners, medium to high speed. McLaren settings. Somebody said earlier, am I surprised that Max Verstappen is the favourite? Not really. High speed stuff. I know McLaren will do really well around here. High speed, warmer climbs, suits them. Natural habitat of the MCL39. But I don't know, chap. I don't know. He's going to be good, Max Verstappen. And that Kurt there. Go on. I'm talking about, and we'll bring this up later. Turns 11, 3:15. Turn 9, 10, 11. Mate, he's going to be all right around there. Right, we need to get ourselves some multi-viewer. Do me a favour. Firstly, if you like the stream, then like the stream. Secondly, go and support multi-viewer. If you enjoy yourself some cheeky metrics, they're about to pop up on your screen. Then on a desktop or a laptop, what you can do is go and download yourself. Okay. All right, let's go. And we are live. Multi-viewer, always desktop or a laptop, if indeed you enjoy accompanying your F1 viewing with some value add metrics. The goatiest of all F1 apps to have ever goated. Real Jazz, you're a legend. Home race time. Let's go, Real Jazz. Let's go. As soon as your boy opens up multi-viewer, your boy's computer stops remembering who it is. T-minus 1 minute until we get ourselves a cheeky FP1. They've got to move this. They've got to move here, chat. The teams need to be, and too kind as always, real. They've got to move. They've got to go quickly here. 60 minutes isn't enough. They've got to squeeze 3 sessions worth of due diligence of the mechanical and variety, if I can get my words out, into 60 minutes. Chaos. 180 into 60 does not go, so they've got to get moving. What's Charles Leclerc in the garage still for? Put your gloves on, mate. Let's get moving. Ted Kravitz about to give some insight. So your track circumstance, 2.9 kilometers worth of wind coming in per hour, coming in from the northwest. 32.9 and 25.7 are your track and ambient temperatures respectively. Oh, McLaren did not put a car out on team display. Oh, the humanity. Yeah. Once bitten, twice shy. Wow. Huh. Oh. They're changing surfaces on Lando's car already. Houston, we have ourselves a problem. John, what did it say in the notes? I'm keen. Do we have circumstance? Oh, techie. Huh. I'm interested now, chat. I'm trying to find out what's going on here. Oh, desktop only. You are right, Jomo. I appreciate it. It is desktop only for Multiview. The sunset looks incredible. Atlas sail, does it not? I'm interested, chat. I really want to know why McLaren didn't put their car on display. What were they changing on Lando Norris's car as far as the surfaces? Oh, the humanity. Oh, the humanity. This feels like disqualification gate all over again, doesn't it? I'm trying desperately to find out in real time what happened. Why were McLaren able with T-minus 58 minutes on the docket as far as McLaren in trouble all of a sudden? Because people have been saying, Jonathan Noble mentioned no names said, and again, all F1 journals are created equally, but some are created more equal than others. Jonathan Noble said that they were running, I mean, their setup was not very risk averse, let's say. Huh. Go on then. We are T-minus 57 minutes and 15 seconds left on the FP1 docket. F2 practice cars found them. Maybe McLaren, very good, Darius. Need to change something after the disqualification. Of course they do. And there's been lots of chatter, hasn't it? Alonso called into question why so many teams that hadn't bought any upgrades for as near it makes no difference half a season now, all of a sudden are finding pace. You know what I mean? Hand over fist, material, durable competitive advantage. How does that even make sense? Where from? Alonso called it into question, and then all of a sudden, look at the Ferrari of Lewis already sparking. This ride height, this is going to become an issue here. I disagree with Nico Rosberg's words that the championship will be won and lost in Lando Norris's head. I have a sneaky suspicion that the championship potentially will be won and lost at the altar of ride heights. Ground effect here, it was always going to be the way now. It was always going to be the way. F1 TV not working, I have no idea. I'm all about Sky over here. Team Sky or not. I just I suffer from an acute bout of Sky Sports F1 Stockholm syndrome. First run is long, fuel heavy run. Pay attention, McLaren 100%. Good shout. Oh, I'm nervous. Go on then, all eyes on the track here. George Russell goes purple. Shortly after. Go on then, Max Verstappen is on it already, isn't he? Again, Lauren Mecky's thesis. Let's not mess about. Let's just go. Right, your boy needs to change. Hmm. 55. 31.1. George Russell going on a hot lap. No one's getting quicker. No one's getting close to... Oh, I was just about to say nobody's getting close to Max Verstappen. No, but look at that final sector. Oh my gosh. Final sector from George Russell. 1.1 second quicker than Max's equivalent. What is going on there? Early running A. Due diligence settings. Exploring the limits clearly. Everybody's on hard tyres getting the race runs in early. And for the avoidance of doubt, 25 laps maximum amount of time or laps you'll be able to do, on any one set of tyre, meaning therefore soft, medium. That'll be the race running. You'll need to grip off the line, right? Especially if you're a Lando Norris 1.0 trying to fend off a fire-breathing dragon Maximilian Verstappen. Carlos Sainz puts in a cheeky purple sector. Oof. 500 of you watching concurrently. If you like the stream, then like the stream. Helps more than you guys might realise. Karin Chanduk says that he spent Lando Norris into turn 1, spent far too long. Oh wow, did you hear Karin Chanduk say he did the 5 break? Wow. There's an argument going on in the community. Mark Hughes says that Lando Norris didn't do the 5 burnouts. Mr. Windsor says that he did. Karin Chanduk now says that Lando did do the 5 burnouts. Oh, the humanity. Pick your poison. I stand with Peter Windsor. Do you know what I mean? He's partial to a cheeky fact check. You're welcome, Crofty. Crofty talking to the tweet that we just put out. The Max Verstappen said, if he had that McLaren MCL39 underneath him, then he would have wrapped up the championship a long time ago. Touche, Max Verstappen. Do you know what I mean? You're not the first person to have said that, by the way. Max Verstappen on a cheeky hot lap. Let's see. 600 of you watching concurrently. Do me a favour and smash the like. There is match. There is God tier match. Let's see this Max Verstappen lap out first before we talk about Max Verstappen. All about this. Max Verstappen going purple microsectors all over the shop in sector 3. He's going to go clear 23.3. Oh, the humanity. Tell me that you want to win a race and therefore a championship, Max Verstappen goat, without telling me. Jeez, he's just put 0.9 on Nico Hulkenberg there. Early days yet and still, but that's ominous for the rest of the championship protagonist gang. Quickest of all for the speed trap with T-minus 52 minutes and 10 seconds to go is Pierre Gasly. 52.06. Chandler making the pertinent points, lest we forget the track is very green, not often used, meaning therefore low grip circumstances already, right? Expect Lando to go well in the early run-ins and then Oscar Piastri close that gap up as we get towards the paid session, being qualifying proper for the Grand Prix and the Grand Prix race. Gonna get techie. T-minus 51 minutes and 30 seconds left on the docket. Here's Oscar. It's not bad, I don't hate that. 2 tenths from Oscar. Where's he losing time there, Oscar? He's lost 2 tenths through sector 1 alone, and then he's gained back half a tenth in sector 2, and he's lost another half. Where's he losing then? Oh, sector 1. Oscar needs to tidy up his sector 1 if he harbours aspirations of keeping his nose in the championship. I want to see Lando Norris do a lap here. He's hiding his light under a bushel for now, and he doesn't normally do that on these low grip circuits. Gets out of the gate quickly, but maybe he's struggling with a car. The suspension geometry, maybe, that they tinkered with early doors in the season with a view to enhance Lando Norris's driving pleasure. Yuki doing good by me. Yeah, no, fair play, don't hate that. Nice, Yuki joined the chat with his new engine, don't hate it. But I mean, he's still, look at that, still 6 tenths adrift. Carlos Sainz goes up into second on a 23.4, only 5/100 slower than Maximilian Verstappen. Is it sprint weekend? Says Disdained. It is indeed sprint race weekend, meaning therefore this FP1 isn't more important than most as far as due diligence, understanding, calibrating for the ride height as low as you can get it, but not 1 millimetre lower as far as excessive plank wear. Lewis Hamilton goes up to 5th on a 23.9 rounded. What's going on, Clive? You're a legend, mate. Sonoda-san proving the pack. Will these Pirellis be too durable again? Well, not... They're all going soft, medium. 2-stop mandated because the tyres can only go 25 laps. Even if you go on scrubs, let's say you start the race on soft compound tyres that have already done 3 laps. That means that in the race you're gonna have to stop at the very latest lap 22, because 22 plus 3 equals 25. They're a bit scared petrified some say Pirelli of a potential Baku moment 2021 Max Verstappen again. They don't want to be too marginal as far as pressures and deg. 23.3 from Maximilian Verstappen. Currently sits atop of your timesheets. Carlos Sainz in second. Lawson third on a 23.5. Lawson, hang on. Oh, the humanity. Oscar Piastri sits fourth. 23.5. Hajar, Russell, Lewis Hamilton, Alonso, Tsunoda-san, and Kimi Antonelli. Although Alonso's just gone a purple. 30.4 in sector 1. Ride height still a bit low. They'll go as low as they can go. How low can you go without getting disqualified at the altar of excessive plank wear? Cam, you notice that McLaren's are still sparking 100%, Abbas. But they were sparking a lot. I mean, for them to be sparking so much in Vegas and then only be so marginally outside of the parameters permitted as far as excessive plank wear is tells you what we need to know. By Lando. 700 of you watching currently. There is merch. There are some God tier Maximilian Verstappen tops and George Russell tops if you are so that way inclined ahead of Christmas. Your boy wanted to get some Christmas merch out, but time was against me. 800 of you watching concurrently. We have ourselves a cheeky FP1, the only free practice session of round 23. There are T-2 races, 2 race weekends left to go. After which we'll get ourselves some pertinent exam answers to some very pertinent F1 exam questions. Oscar Piastri goes top, 23.0. Can you say? Track evolution, 22.9 from George Russell. Oh, the humanity. Tyre pop. We don't want that again. Error unknown. We don't need Baku. Max Verstappen 2021. Still sparking, says Clive, 100%. Oscar's moving. Easy G, how are you feeling, Easy G? Lando Norris fans, let me know in the chat. How are you feeling? I feel quite comfortable as a man. But it's free practice, right? I think we'll all be bricking it. Palms are sweaty, mom's spaghetti. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. So you want to be an F1 driver? So you want to be an F1 driver, really? Do you have the ability, the mental fortitude to nail yourself a launch and not get called a start bottle job like Lando Norris has been? Do you have yourself some ability to fend off a fire-breathing dragon in Maximilian Verstappen to avoid seizing defeat from the jaws of victory? Do you have the ability to make good on your unfulfilled potential? Do you want to be an F1 driver? Do you have it in you to go jet setting around the world 24 weekends of 52? So you want to be an F1 racing driver. How do you like yourself some F1, chap? George Russell sits atop your timing sheet currently with a 22.9. There was indeed a big snap from Max Verstappen. He's not loving his tyres at the moment, is Max. Complaining already on the radio. He's Verstappen gate. In the votes, 830 of you voted thus far. 80% if you think Max Verstappen's going to nail it. And by the way, Max Verstappen is a big favourite. 40% of the time, the odds makers say that he wins the race. Excuse me, 47.6% of the time, Lando Norris is your second favourite. As of the time of writing, at 36%. Oscar Piastri, 13%. George Russell is your fourth favourite at 6% at the time. T-minus 45 minutes and 20 seconds left on your FP1 docket. Round 23, Qatar Grand Prix. LaSalle. Bloody no, look at the racing look at the racing balls. Right, everyone's gone. You know what everyone's done? Everyone's gone, right, I think it should be this low. Lower it more. Let's skirt along the fringes, the parameters. Let's find out how far you can't go and then bring it back in. Charles Leclerc said, I can't feel a thing with this power steering. Oh, the humanity, Charles Leclerc. It's not looking good, bruv. Already for Charles Leclerc, a.k.a. modern day Sean Lazy. 700 of you in the chat can currently do me a favour and smahoosh that like button, please. FP1 last year, Charles was 121.953 with Max at 120. That's chaos. But it is FP1 though. How much can you read into FP1? Max Bailando. Bailando. Did you get that from the Chris Harris on Cars podcast? Because I did. Old Lewis saying the tyres are dead. Max is really pushing this practice to the limits. He's only got one. You only get one shot here. Sprint race weekend is techie. And it's not just McLaren that have fudged up sprint race weekend setups before, is it? I seem to recall Red Bull have done it a couple of times. Singapore, they couldn't get the contours right. Brazil, they've done it. And Brazil, they did it in 2022, right? That's the genesis story of the Zero's iPod. That Mercedes were on the cusp of giving up the zero pod design philosophy until in 2022, the final race, George Russell, all of a sudden the zero pod W13 woke up and it was like the FW14 levels of God tier speed. It was ridiculous. The problem for the zero pod, as far as Mercedes were concerned, was always the fact that it was a brilliant car, one of 365 days a year in cooler climes, high altitude, when everybody had their Weetabix. It was sometimes its performance curve was infinitely high, but infinitely narrow. It was never accessible. How you doing, Joe Bob? What are you thinking with your heart or your brain when it comes to Sir Lewis in this race? It's techie T-race. How are you, mate? Lando, get that car tuned up and get up to pace now, says EasyG, resident Lando Norris fan. What am I thinking of Lewis? Lewis he's not loving life, is he, at the moment? But again, he's not dissimilar to Max Verstappen. When Lewis has his back up against the wall, shouldn't count him out. But I said that in Mexico, didn't I? Mexico was the time when I thought Lewis was going to come to the fore and grab his podium, break his Ferrari duck per se. And then the racing gods turn their back on him yet again this season. So I don't know, but you wouldn't back against Lewis in this mood, keen to show all and sundry that he's still a top tier racing driver. Lest we forget 7-time champion, GOAT setting, some say Mount Rushmore of Hall of Fame, first round ballot. He is first round all F1. Not a bad driver, this Lando. Lewis Hamilton, Freudian slip. Mercedes Zero Pod was good in good straight lines. Once they fixed the porpoising, but in corners it was dog. Yeah. Managed to find its feet far too infrequent. You know, one thing I hate is brakes during free practice. I feel like I paid far too much money. Sky Sports F1 to miss an all-important FP1 round 23. 2025 Drivers' Championship is going to get techie. Watch Max. Max will go and bloody pole it here. Whilst we're away on breaks, Max Verstappen will go purple, of course. 22.1 currently from King George Russell of Kingsley, Norfolk. God tier set to 1. God tier set to 3 from King George. Don't hate that. 700. Watching only 250 likes. That does not add up, does it, JP? It does not. You are right, sir. I hope that all the rookies will defend Max. Yeah. I mean, all the rookies are super keen on Max, aren't they? Lawson backs Max. Hadjar, of course, will have Max's back. Bortoletto will have Max's back. What's going on, Manj? I hope you're good, mate. Didn't like Lewis at first, but now him and Alonso are legends. They're still going at it. Respect, 100%, Darius. I'm not sure do I like Lewis? I used to love Lewis Hamilton. Flipping Nora. I suppose that's why I keep going back to watch the old 2008 footage of Sir Lewis. He was my guy. Like I would have gone to bat for him. I'm not so keen. I've still got a soft spot for Lewis. We'll always have, but back in the day when he was in his prime, all of the Met Galas didn't matter ultimately because he had so much time in hand on the rest, the Sebastian Vettels of the show. Like, he was so much better than them. The Met Gala didn't matter. But when I see Lewis out partying now, I can't help but think that he's leaving lap time on the table, even at, or particularly now at the ripe old age of 41. You can't move in your 40s like you did in your 20s. Not in high level sport. I can. Well, I can't. Literally. I can't. but I'm not a high-level sports athlete. So the margins are much finer, especially in F1. That is, of course, a young man's game. 700 of you watching concurrently. Do me a favour. If you like the stream, then like the stream. And, of course, there is much about which I'm compelled to speak, for which I make no apologies. George has something to prove after, oh, yeah, true. George was an accident prone, yes? He was. George's problem used to be every time in the closing stage of a Grand Prix, Australia 2024, Singapore 2023, he'd just find a way to yeet it into the barriers. If there was something at play, he just struggled. Viaplay in the Netherlands has a TV channel. They broadcast FP1 and sprint shootout for free. You get the picture in picture commercials. But hey, it's free. I don't hate that. Yeah, disdained if I'm paying for it. I disagree with adverts, but I digress. Germanic, I appreciate you commenting on my comment underneath the Max Verstappen interview. It's a brilliant interview, that. Shout out to Chris Medland. Again, all F1 journeys are created equally, but some are created more equal than others. 700 of you watching concurrently. Do me a favour, if you like the stream, then like the stream. Is a sprint and quali on Saturday more intense, important than a race on Sunday? Good shout. Good shout. It's a really, really good shout. I finished reading that out, Germanic. I think you were onto something there. Sundays give me more excitement, but those double Saturdays are way more important in the sense of build. Germanic, to your point, I think lots of people dislike sprint race weekends because it interrupts the usual crescendo. There's not enough F1 foreplay per se in terms of a sprint race weekend. It's one FP1, and then you get the sprint, and then or the sprint qualifying, and it's the sprint shootout. What are their names anyway? I don't know. I can't follow the naming convention, and I'm working too hard to follow, and I just don't know. Just give me the normal thing. I think we're quite averse to change as far as an F1 community as well. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But I don't hate for once that the FIA are rolling the dice. Try change something. Do a bloody reverse grid. I know the drivers don't want it, but do something. Oh no, Easy G. This is pressure. That's why. No, Lando will be alright. 30.4. There's something on Lando's car, isn't there? What's going on, Easy G? Lando normally around these tracks, low grip circumstance, he gets out the gate quickly, lest we forget. He's less binary on the throttle and brake than is Oscar Piastri, and he can slide the car and manipulate it on and around the limits of adhesion, said Andrea Stella. And now what's going on? Lando's got an issue. Darius, you're a legend, mate. I appreciate you out here gifting memberships. Thank you, sir. It's not lost. There are no words, Darius. And if you are a brand new peddler, then get yourself over to the community tab and get yourself in. There is a link on there. Get yourself in the Discord, within which space we continue the F1 modes of discourse. Ted Kravitz says nothing to be concerned about as far as the McLaren cars. Let's see, mate. Charles Leclerc complaining about balance or lack thereof. Norris can't afford sandbagging. True, JP, but something's on. I don't know. Is it correlation, causation? The former does not imply the latter. Is that what we're looking at here? There's a reason Ted Kravitz said earlier on that the McLarens didn't put Lando's car out for display because they were changing surface areas, and then Lando comes out and puts in a 30.4. So 24.1 is his lap time. Set to 30.4 as versus George Russell, who's half a second down the road in set to 1 alone. What's going on here? Right, maybe it's premature. I don't know. Maybe Lando's just getting his. But he needs to go quick, early, FP1 and only. There will be no more free practice sessions. They'll have to use the sprint race to understand ride heights and calibrate. But there's 8 points to be won or lost in the sprint currently. Topping your timing sheets is King George Russell of Kingsley in Norfolk on a 22.1, 0.2 and change down the road from Maximilian Verstappen for some say, soon to be 5-time champion Isaac Hadjar in third on a 22.5. Alonso from Alex Albon, Sainz, Tsunoda-san, Antonelli, Piastri and Liam Lawson owe the humanity. Please come to the Discord, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a proper chat. Touche. Darius, you're a legend for that as well. This is not good, Easy G. I don't think it's. Yeah, no. I think Lando will show something soon. What's wrong with Lando's car? Says Safak. You're a legend, Wolf. I appreciate you, mate. We're trying. Norris can't cheat anymore. Oh no, Surf Source. The daggers and the Lando Norris naysayers will come out in force. Pitchforks and tiki torches at hand. It does look good. Go on then, let's have a look. As Mr. Windsor would say, here we go. Bit of Brundle trackside. Don't hate this. Norris is done. What is going on? He's not done a quick lap at all. There's something going on with that car, isn't there? Maybe. Go on, should we put out some conspiracy theories? Are you ready with tinfoil hats in hand? Nice will come good, says British Blue. You've got to think so, mate. You've got to think so. JP says, dear legends, throw that light for the community and Cam's efforts. I appreciate you, JP. You're a legend. If you like the stream, It helps more than you might realise. And every time there's a car on track over the course of this race weekend, 30 minutes before lights out, we will be here talking about it, arguing respectfully. Norris ain't done. Stop being silly, Clive says. Lando can afford to sack off the sprints. True also, Biocam. Very true, Biocam girl. Lando can play defence right. His strategic objective, overarching, is to outscore Max and Oscar by 2 points. Because that's it then. The championship, the drivers, is his. 26 points the delta going into next race weekend. Even if Lando doesn't race at all, you can't accrue more than 25 points over the course of a conventional race weekend. So 2 points is how much Lando needs. If he gets that over the course of the sprint and the Grand Prix, round 23 Qatar Losail, then Houston, we have ourselves a problem and a driver championship winner. What's Yuki's engineer smoking? Chuck Norris. Go on then, George. He's not going quick though, is he? Listening to Brundle talking about internal gyros. Did I steal internal gyroscope from Martin Brundle, or did he steal it from me? I cannot recall. It's stripped probably me from him, isn't it? Most likely. The exchange of the Drivers' Championship this year. Lando wins the World Drivers' Championship. It will be tarnished with favouritism, etc., and a feeling of robbery. Max wins it, then it'll go down in history as one of the greats. Is that bias? Truth, value, objectivity. This is chaos. Oh my gosh, Lando puts in a lap time, but 22.9. It'll be alright, Easy G. Come off the hour. Or something like that. Martin Brundle says he's going to turn 10. More commentary coming from Sir Martin Brundle. 30.3. 30 minutes, 30 seconds left on the docket. McLaren mid today. I hate how Lando is fast, but he needs to be told where to be fast. He needs a bit of input, doesn't he, Darius? Where to call it and so on. He should know these things. Lando says, where can I find 1.6 seconds? Maybe they are slow. Wow. Lando just said, Barack, that's chaos. Oh my gosh. Lando says, where can I find 1.6 seconds? Wow. That's chaos, chat. Where can I find... a bit more ride type, mate. This is the problem. It feels and looks like there might be trying to avoid a cheeky DNF. Oh, the humanities, the championship back on, chat. This feels. Yeah, there we go. Karin Chanduk makes the point. The fact that our old mate Sunoda-san on a 22.6 is currently 0.3 clear of our old mate Lando. Easy G. Pause for thought. Cause for concern. Potentially. Was McLaren forced to stop doing something? This is very sus. Says stimulated. Oh, the humanity. Correlation. Look at Adrian Newey assuming his position. Huh. That's quite symbolic, seeing Adrian Newey assume his rightful station on the pit wall, right? Huh. What is going on, chat? I'm trying to work out. You'll I need to understand, chat, what's going on. Whether I'm, but am I being a... Go on then. Poll time. Right, let's get a poll out. I'm keen to find. I want to understand. I might need to send Mr. Windsor a message. Lando's car not liking it. Oh, there we go. Go on then. Pay attention, Cameron. Lando goes 22.5. Oh, the humanity. 0.4 adrift now. There's a Lando Norris 2.0. Abbas. Don't hate that. There he is. This Adrian Newey's team principle thing is bizarre. I know Peter Windsor suggested it, but didn't see it coming. Can you imagine if Lawrence Stroll watches the channel and heard Windsor say that and said, you know what? That Peter Windsor's onto something. Let me sack Andy Carroll and let me do what Windsor said and appoint Adrian Newey as team principal, because he was team principal anyway, not in name but in substance. This Mr. Windsor's is not his first rodeo. Let me take heed. Let me institute for his counsel, since I want to win myself some championships of the drivers and or constructors variety. Imagine I was saying that. Less than 30 minutes. Oh my gosh, no more testing apart from in the sprint. They'll be using the sprint, Darius. They have to be. It's not enough time. Did all the teams use expanding skid blocks? The rumour is that some of them, Piet, were using them. But then somebody else said at Autos, but I want to say it was Noble, and again, not a bad F1 journo to base all of your hypothetical theories on. Jonathan Noble was like, no, it's nonsense. Expanding, why would you want an expanding skid block? You'd want a contracting one almost. It just makes it doesn't stand up to the smell test. Right behind Hajar. Go on then, let's have a gander. Let me take your head out of your own AWS, Cameron. Focus on the screen. I told you Lando was playing us. You did say that, Darren. It's that sentence though. When he says, where do I find 1.6 seconds? That's chaos. Grunchandek evidently has been reading Adrian Newey's book, How to Build a Race Car, talking about Adrian's ability not just to be a race or a performance engineer, but he's a mechanic, he's an aerodynamicist. He's the guy that's going to get underneath the car and troubleshoot for it in real time. When the FRB21 is understeering, who better than an Adrian Newey to provide with counsel? Cheats are going to cheat, says Underground. Oh, the humanity. On board with Sir Lewis. Let's have a look. Go on, Sir Lewis. Let's get moving, chap. Age is nothing but a number. Throwing down ain't nothing but a thing. This loving I had for you, Sir Lewis, will never change. 900 of you in the chat concurrently. Do me a favour and smash the like if you ain't cheating. You ain't trying. Let's go. I don't hate that. It's an interesting sentence, that, isn't it? Oh no, Matt's having issue with his shifts again. That recurring problem. JP, you make the point. McLaren not topping the leaderboard already is exciting. Used to me have a problem. Look at me getting excited. Max Verstappen, 4 soon to be 5-time champion. GOAT. Mount Rushmore. Russell, not wood. Cameron. What part of the car is made of wood? The plank. But then the bit that contacts the road is titanium, isn't it? Or steel? I can't remember it. Are you guys watching? You guys are watching and referring to Chris Harrison cars, aren't they? Because they're cracking. Well, these F1 cars are made out of wood. They kept saying, just Ferrari things. Ferrari doing Ferrari things. I got a cheeky bet that one of the McLarens will not make it into Q3. Bloody, that's brave, Underground. That's brave. Based upon what? I'd be keen to hear you give me your thinking, the logic that underpins that assumption. Might watch. He was literally paraphrasing what you said for Aston Martin, and yeah, Freak Live. I heard it. Yeah, I heard it. I'm stealing a bit of that. I should reference the Adrian Newey book. If you've heard the Adrian Newey book, then if you've heard the Adrian Newey book, yeah, of course, Cameron. If you've read the Adrian Newey book, How to Build a Car, you will know. He talks about that a lot, doesn't he? Oh no, the damping is really bad on the car. Every time I'm off throttle, the car is jumping a lot. No, Max, no. Fix the fudging car. All the things. I appreciate you, mate. You're a legend. Far too kind as always. T minus 20 minutes and 50 seconds left on the docket. Currently topping your timing sheet still. King George Russell of Kingsley and Norfolk. You know what? I tell you why this bodes well for Max fans. Max needs not to be beaten by George, but for other drivers to get in the mix and take points off of Lando. For the avoidance of doubt, chat, 24 points is the delta between Max in third and Lando in first in the drivers' standings. If Max were to do as many people think he will do and win every single session between now and the end of the season, and Lando were to finish second, Max Verstappen would still lose the championship by 9 points, chat. 9 points. Mention no names, the 9 points that Max gave up in Barcelona. Techie than Techie thinks that. So Max will need other chaps to start taking points off of both, well, Lando in particular, but Oscar Piastri would be nice as well. The ride heights is an issue for McLaren. We see it in real time. This is the same thing we saw in Baku Wingate when they had to change it. This time in Brazil told them you need to adjust. Oh, the humanity. Oh, maybe they've gone too conservative and maybe they'll lower the ride heights over the next 19 minutes and come back out as the MCL 39 that we've come to know and love. Market leading machine, dominant in 2025. T-minus 19 minutes and 20 seconds left on the docket. Currently, George Russell tops your timing sheets with a 12.165. Max Verstappen 22.3, 2/10 adrift. George's top time sheet topping time. Hajar in third, Lando Norris in fourth. Lando on a 22.5, 4/10 adrift of the lead. Oh, the humanity. What are we doing, chat? Okay, how do you like yourself some F1? It feels like peak F1 as far as 25, eh? This is techie. Alonso, Albon, Sainz, Tsunoda-san, Antonelli, Piastri. I need to get myself a cheeky vote. 1,300 votes. Thank you, each and every single one of you, for voting. And 79% of you think Max Verstappen is going to win round 23, Qatar, Losail. 13% of you, Lando. 4% say Oscar. 4% say George. George, a cheeky outside chance, eh? What did we say earlier? He's a rank outsider, isn't he, George? George can do this from time to time. 14-1, George. 6% of the time under the current circumstances. If you run 100 simulations, George puts it on pole. Oh, the humanity. I think it might be a tad more than that, odds makers. Gorgeous George will sail away and say, bye, Lando. The humanity. Oh, the humanity. That bye, Lando. It's not the first or the last time. Easy G, cover your ears every time I say bye, Lando. Or drink a shot of something non-alcoholic. Right, I need you guys to tell me. I want to know. Go on, and you guys let me know. This is interesting now. I'm keen. Just on a break. Let's go, chat. $1,000 of you in the chat concurrently, and I'm grateful for adding an item to each and every single one of you, and I mean that genuinely, because this channel drives and survives by dint of each and every single one of you coming in here and having the conversation. Do you know what I mean? Spurning the old F1 media and their insular nature with which they cover the sport. Yeah, we'll take your money, but we won't invite you to the conversation. No, not over here. Not over here. Why? You guys want to be heard, and as well you might, because you've all got better points, infinitely, exponentially better and well reasoned, much more so than any of the Sky Sports F1 bots, but I digress. Do you know what I mean? So, well, what are we doing here? Okay, let's go. Right, we're back. We're back. 821 of you can currently do me a favour. If you like the stream, then like the stream. On board with Lando. Max is saying that we're clipping out of 6. This is a disaster. Just no pace out the corner. Bloody no. If they fix the car, then if Max is second in the early runnings, 2/10 adrift of George. T-minus 15 minutes left on the dot. This is chaos. Oh, the humanity. Rush hour setup configurations, trying to squeeze 180 minutes worth of due diligence into 60. Lest we forget, it is a sprint race weekend. No FP2, no FP3. They will be replaced. Get your words out, Cameron. They'll be replaced by sprint quali and a sprint race. No FP2 and FP3. T-minus 15 minutes and 1 second left on the docket. Let's go. Let us go. Here for it. Can you spell excitement? Oh, the humanity. Easy G. How you feeling, chap? Let me know in the voting. Have McLaren nerfed? Have they been nerfed by the FIA? FIA creative scripting. McLaren is scared of the FIA and Max. That doesn't mean they are cheating, but it means they need to be careful with this setup. They can't afford. There's an asymmetric downside risk, isn't there? Push it too much and you'll get disqualified again. They can't have that. My thumbs up not counted. Apologies, Jack. 1 out. If I didn't see it. John Waker gemocked. You mean by finally calling out the nonsense a little late? And is it true? True, Biochem girl. Some say that they've been a bit, they've been fringe and a bit marginal all season long. We Aussies are scared this weekend with most track session at Stupid. I was scarred. Let me read that out. I know, I'm so sorry. You guys, I'm telling you, Caroline, I don't know how you do it. I was dying. I was struggling last weekend. It's hard. Stupid o'clock, so we won't be able to interact with you, Cameron. I appreciate you, Caroline. Listen, you've got to get sleep. Prioritise your health. You know what I mean? F1's not life and death. Not as important as life and death. It's much more important than that. No, I'm joking, Caroline. I don't want to leverage the legend Bob Paisley. Not in this instance. You guys have got to get your sleep. I don't know. I remember watching boxing back in the day, waking up at 4:30 to get to watch the biggest fights at the time in Las Vegas. Oh, the humanity. So it's the irony's not lost on me then. That it is Las Vegas that screws with my body clock yet again, but this time in F1 and not boxing. It's all been deliberate to let Max win it. I don't know, Clive. Have you heard of Hanlon's razor, Clive? Malice and incompetence. Let's go. Soft tyres. Let's go. Isaac Hajar, first of the soft tyre runners. So too, you've got Stroll, Ocon, Behrman. Let's go. I love this portion of the... look at me getting excited for free practice and some soft red-labelled compound tyres. Never hate it. Dick Dastardly Red Bull would bring back Maldonado, Kvyat and Taki Noe for the final 2 races. After I don't hate it. Chat, I also witnessed Lance Stroll smiling. Oh, the humanity. Did you double take like Neo in the Matrix when he saw a black cat? Cam, do you think the budget cap been helpful or sporty? I'll tell you what the budget cap's done. I'll tell you what the cost cap has done, Rich. It's provided a stop loss as far as the operational cost of these teams, making therefore their asset valuation much higher than it was, because before there was when it was unlimited spend GP, all of the bloody Mercedes and the bellwethers in Formula One were just sped out. I did it for night. They'd just go hard, right? 500-600 million spend some years if you were Mercedes, because you just. But then that reduces your bottom line, your profit. Operating cost is the scourge of efficiency as far as your bottom line is concerned. Behrman goes third fastest on a 22.4. Oh, yeah, huh. Let's get the soft compound tyres on and let's see. Oscar's happy. Lando wants more changes, more grip. So they've changed the rear suspension. They've done something to it. Go on then, Lando. Chaos, chat. I'm here for this, you know. I can't even lie. I'm amped. Lawson goes up to 6th on them soft compound tyres as Lando Norris is about to test it. 751 of you watching Kokoda, do me a favour and smash the like if of course you like the stream. Without the cost cap, Lewis would still be winning at Mercedes. True SDW. I tell you what, SDW. That's chaos. F1 sliding doors, eh? Huh. Which drivers do you think will lose with the removal of DRS? Well, the ones that can't overtake. I think Max will. I think it's your Max and your Charles that will benefit, and your Lewis if he's had his Weetabix, the ones who have racecraft to spare. But then of the top drivers, who will struggle? I think Lando won't be too happy for DRS. Not that his racecraft is poor. But I think he's not as Or at least in the early season, he wasn't as clinical as Oscar Piastri, was he? I think they will guess how the medium will do based off the hard, soft runs. They'll have to, EasyG. Wow, everyone's complaining. Lawson says, mate, I've got no stability. Brundle trackside. Sake. $700 of you. Grateful. I am. Alonso. Don't hate that from Fernie. But I mean, we're going to see. Let me pay attention because it's going to get techie. Your boy's trying to spin like Lando unsuccessfully at very many plates. Fernando Plan Alonso 21.562.6 rounded. Tops your timing sheets. Now, everybody's gone on softs apart from Sonoda-san, Lewis. What are we doing here? Go on then. Come after the hour. Come after Lando Norris. He's just done a 29.5, 0.2 or 1/10 quicker through sector 1 as versus Alonso, and then 0.3 quicker through sector 2, and then he's going purple again. So he's currently got 0.4. This will be a low 21s, no, high 20. Lando will be the first of the runners to do a 20 point something. I reckon about 20.7 potentially. Going for it. 20.9. I think his sector 3 wasn't as gangbusters as I thought it might. Still 20.9 from Lando now. And then Piastri goes 21.3. Okay, so Lando's got the car underneath him now. You can tell by dint of the delta between the two McLaren pedalers. Lando 0.4 down the road from Oscar Piastri. Come after EasyG. There's your boy. There's your boy. Track evolution 100%. But Oscar Piastri's lap shows you that that's quick. And then Max's lap shows you that that's really quick from Lando. Max goes 21.5. Oh, the humanity. Half a second adrift. EasyG. Oh, the humanity. That's chaos from Lando there. A sign. Show me a sign that the McLaren is sorted and ready to go. Oh, the humanity. I mean, if you could take pressure out of this circumstance, then Lando and McLaren have they have the ball, don't they? Their package is rapid. Charles Leclerc goes 30.0. Bloody Nora. Charles Leclerc is half a second adrift in sector 1 alone, and then another half a second. Yellow flag conditions. Bloody Nora. Looking at 22.0. Lando Norris is more than 1 second down the road from Charles Leclerc with T-minus 6 minutes left on the dockets. Max is much slower. Oh, the humanity. And that's it, Jack. Get back to the pits, Max. Park firm conditions incoming. You need. Oh, bloody Dora. Poll results. 54% of you think that McLaren have nerfed. I mean, it changes by the second day. 54% of you think that McLaren have been nerfed by the FIA. And then Lando goes and puts in a 20.9, 0.4 quicker than the next best. How is the plank looking? Oh, the humanity. EasyG. He's back. Your boy Lando Norris has the whip hand. 2.0 has entered the chat. Hulkenberg up to 7th already on a 121.783. Your runners and riders with T-minus 5 minutes and change left. Lando on a 20.982 has entered the chat. 0.4 down the road from Oscar Piastri's teammate. Verstappen 21.5. More than half a second adrift of Lando in the lead. Alonso from Albon, Sainz, Hulkenberg. Lewis Hamilton does a 27.8 rounded. Hajar from Russell. That's techie. Who won, Rich? McLaren won. Thus far, Ferrari should be a shot. I tick short snaps. What are we doing here? This is nonsense. Franco Colapinto does a 23.5 again. What else would you expect? Agile goes third fastest, quicker than Max, which makes me think, chat, that there is time still on the table for Maximilian Verstappen. They've got to continue tinkering. Right, they can't afford to drop the ball like they did a couple race weekends ago. No more bad setups. Oscar Piastri goes purple through sector 1, 29.5. Oh, he's only 2/1000ths. Look at that. Hanging on desperately to Oscar Piastri, to Lando Norris's Oscar. But then he's a tenth and a half down going through sector. Lando Norris's sector 3 is nuts. That 23. Oscar Piastri goes top to the tune of 6/100ths. Oh, the humanity. Oscar's going to take it to Lando this weekend because he's good around Qatar, isn't he? Let's have a look at this. 29. 26. Yeah, Matt, I was just saying that Oscar Piastri's, the Lando's sector 3 was God tier. And Oscar Piastri said, have you heard, Cameron, of the commentator's curse? T-minus 3 minutes 15 left on the docket. Oh, the human. That's a blister in sector 3. And he's always, remember he spoke about it's like turn 12 and 13, like 14. Oscar should, because of his driving style, always be quicker through that final sector than Lando. Just rapid. Zach Brown told us as much. He said that Oscar's braver through the medium to high speed turns than is Lando Norris, and therefore quicker. You might be onto something, Easy G. All right, Oscar. Yeah, it'll be quicker. He should be quicker, barring mistakes through sector 3. And again, if he's gone second and third around Qatar when he was Oscar 1.0, now that he's Oscar 2.0, or at least Oscar 2.0 appeared earlier on in the season, he should be. Yeah, he should be quicker. Those of you watching concurrently, I appreciate each and every single one of you to the moon and back ad nauseum, furthering the F1 mode of discourse within the confines of new media over here on YouTube. We'll be here, by the way, if you're brand new, 30 minutes before lights out. If there is a car on track, you bet your bottom dollar we will be here to talk about it. It is a conversation, is now, will always be. Oscar is back, says Remcon. I believe so, John, says Easy G. Sir John Perry, let's go. Hope Red Bull isn't doing a Brazil all over and again. That is the instance for which I was searching. It evaded me. They need to calibrate the car properly. This is game time. The fourth quarter. You've got to take the final shot. Red Bull, set the car up properly, therefore. Oh, there we go. Cheeky off from Lando Norris. Remember we said, Red Easy G. Pat on the back for Cameron. Strike your bingo squares. Lando Norris mistake. There you go. But I mean, he's pushing up. I shouldn't be so disparaging, should I? 30 minutes before, error unknown, says T-minus 1 minute and 14 seconds left on the dockets. Oscar Piastri is holding the whip hand, the red pen, by dint of his 1 minute 20.924. 6/100ths is the delta. Oscar tops your timing sheet. Lando Norris in second. 120.982. 48 seconds left on the docket. Alonso in third. Sainz fourth. Hajar sixth. Max Verstappen. Albon seventh. Stroll eighth. Hulkenberg ninth. Hamilton from in 11th. George Russell. Behrman, Antonelli, Leclerc, Tsunoda-san, Gasly, Ocon, Bortoletto, Liam Lawson, and Colapinto brings up the rear in 20th. And Charles Leclerc goes up to 8th. He's struggling here, Charles. Everything that can go wrong for Charles Leclerc and Scuderia Ferrari is going wrong, and that's a problem. In perpetuity for the red car with the yellow badge and the black prancing Corso top. What are they doing? When is it gonna end? Stem the tide, Scuderia Ferrari. Yeah, boy, by the time we go for the sprint qualifying, Cameron CC might have remembered how to talk. May or may not. I cannot confirm, nor can I deny. What are we doing here? Here we go. Checkered flag settings. Come on, Max. Push. No push, no risk. Right, chat, I'm going to ask you one favour very quickly. This is important. If you like the stream, like the stream. It means more to the channel as we get another vista of a cheeky... Oh no, second mistake, Easy G. It must be the bit true. It must be that the wind is a bit techie around here. Or it must be the pressure and the wind, potentially. Wind coming in from the northwest, 4.3 kilometres per hour. Huh. Oh, the humanity. Has Lewis gone back to the old helmet design? I hope so. I saw yellow in the helmet. I like that. He's been listening to Peter D. Windsor, hasn't he? They all watch us, chat. They all watch us. They're paying attention. Mr. Windsor is far too wise for these F1 peddlers to shirk, to miss the opportunity to improve for their performance. You listen to Mr. Windsor. You see the old... Can you imagine? I'm not saying anything. That clip needs to get clipped. You guys have been legends. I appreciate you, each and every single one, to the moon and back. For you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me watching the dying embers of FP1. We will be back 30 minutes before sprint qualifying. It will get techier than techie things. Oh, the humanity.